Hello, greetings to you watching this video. First of all, by introduction, my name is Famarake Damfa. I am currently a PhD student in climate change, adaptation, economics, and policy here at the University of Minnesota in the United States. And I'm here to talk specifically. This video is produced targeting interested young Gambians who are interested in joining the organization that we have formed a couple of years ago, commonly referred to as Help-Gambia. Management of the organization thought it necessary to produce this video so that we can provide preliminary information to the applicants who are awaiting to be interviewed by the board members in the short possible time. To start with, I would just introduce the organization's logo, which embodies a lot of information that really tells you more about who we are and what we stand for. First of all, the word HELP is an acronym in this logo. It is not the dictionary meaning of help. HELP here stands for Household Disaster Resilience Project, and as you can see within this logo, you might also see a very simple sentence. A lot of people don't see this, but the blue, if you follow the blue colored letters, it reads, I help Gambia. And in this context here, help does not mean that the Gambia is vulnerable. In this context, help means that we're trying to build a resilient Gambia. We're trying to contribute to reducing disasters and strengthening households' resilience to climate change hazards. The green color, the green image that you see is really a leaf. It is a leaf that engulfs a house. Of course, the door of the house is what is really the I, which I Help Gambia reads from. But as you know, a leaf that engulfs a house really means that if we have a lot of trees surrounding the houses that we have in the country, I think that is one way of building resilience. That is one way of mitigating devastating devastating risks and impacts of disasters within communities in the country. I think that gives you some information about what the logo stands for. Of course, Help Gambia envisions an improved climate change adaptation and disaster resilient capacity for every household. So that is the overarching mission that we have. Part of these, the phrases that stand out is climate change adaptation and disaster risk reduction. And of course, part of the entire spectrum of our work also involves a lot of research, because we think that policy can only be informed by data. And data, you cannot get data if you don't implement research projects within the country. So we collaborate, we are willing to collaborate with organizations and individuals who are interested in conducting research, especially in the area of climate change adaptation and of course disaster risk reduction in the country. The management board of Help Gambia is a management board that you barely see in most formal organizations that I have seen. Here we're not looking for individuals who have a degree. We're not looking for individuals who have a lot of experience. We're looking for individuals from all spheres of life. We have people in this board that are really skilled carpenters in construction, right? We have people here who are disaster management experts or they know a lot about disaster risk reduction issues. We have comedians in this group. As you know, Kitabu Fati is our ambassador, of Gambia's ambassador. So we have comedians. We have legally minded individuals. We have a lawyer, Binta Samura, who is a lawyer, and we also have. I think I will just quickly go through the names that we have in the management, of course, to give them credit. These are individuals who have contributed a lot in setting up, coming to where we are, setting up this organization and bringing it to where we are today. So quickly, myself as the executive director, we have Lamin W. Sane is the deputy executive director, who is mainly responsible for administrative and programs of the organization. We have Ibrahim Sediba is also our second executive director, who is into construction and resilient building, especially when it comes to rehabilitation and recovery of assets and stuff like that. So we got Kausu Baro, who is our country project officer. We have Bakare Alkal Sane is our external relations officer. We have Lamin Sedi, who is really the disaster management coordinator for National Disaster Management Agency in the Lower River region. And because by default, wherever Help-Gambia operates, the NDMA's regional coordinator by default becomes our disaster management officer, in other words. So we don't want to duplicate the roles that are already within the country, but just to work with stakeholders in order to realize the shared objectives that we might all have. We have Fatu Jaju, who is our resource officer, basically responsible for resource mobilization and stuff like that. Binta Samura is our legal officer. Lamin Eimani is our monitoring evaluation officer. And of course, Kitabu Fati is our able ambassador. We have Fatu Damfa, who is our project procurement officer, and Bulung Jajusi is our accounting officer. So these are sort of individuals who have been relentlessly putting their time and energy and resources into building these infant organization that you might call it, but an organization that really stands for resilience, stands for sustainability, stands for national development. And no matter how small it is, we are here to contribute our quota as citizens. The organizational structure, really, it is a structure that we are piloting. It is a structure that we are playing with. It is evolving, it is changing, it is very dynamic structure at the moment. And essentially, what we have currently is a management board, which I have mentioned, the board members in there. And the other team that we have is what we call the operation team. So the operation team here is these are people who work with the management to operationalize some of the projects and concepts that we have in the communities. That is already a team that we have operationalized because we have completed or conducted some activities recently. But the new team that we are coming up is the environmental project team. Now these will be a team of 3 to 5 people, and the team will basically be different from the operation team. This team will be a little more independent, and they will make their own decisions, and they will have their own team leader, and they will design their own projects. They will mobilize resources for themselves, and they will be responsible for implementing those ideas or projects that they have mobilized resources for. And at the bottom of that, we have the National Volunteer platform. So all of us become part of this National Volunteer platform, essentially coming to give feedback to each other and how various teams are working, because the environmental project teams will be independent teams that will really make their own decisions and be participating in their own activities. And of course, we will work together as an overall group. So a little more about the environmental project team. I think, as I said, this team will be 5 people at most. One of them will be from the management. So management will be sort of an oversight body within these teams. Management would be sort of supervising the work of the team. But essentially, the team would have a team or a project coordinator and whatever name that they might decide to give to each other. But they will be generating ideas, right? And they will be trained to write fundable project proposals, and we will work with them to mobilize resources or to ensure that those proposals are being funded for. And that they will also be mainly responsible for the implementation of these projects. And these projects can range from research projects to community awareness projects to all kinds of projects that you might think of. As long as it is within the mandates and the framework of Help-Gambia, we will welcome it. So So the team essentially looks like that. They have a project leader who is leading the team, and that is not really an individual who who will be part of management. So this will be an individual to be appointed or to be nominated by the team members. And if management has any role to play here, management members will be behind, will be the last person on that cycle, sort of overseeing the activities and giving counseling and guidance and providing resources that you might need. And of course, with this, there will be a lot of opportunities to get training on how to write a good concept note, a good project proposal, how to mobilize resources and stuff like that. So there'll be a lot of feedback loop being created or provided from management. So we will do anything we can, provide resources and provide training opportunities so that you know the task ahead of you and that you are able to implement your own ideas. So we call it the EPs. The EP is essentially environmental projects, right? We need projects that are SMART. We already know, all of us probably know what SMART stands for. We need projects that are very specific to sort of the goals or the vision of Help-Gambia. We need projects that are measurable, so you need to deliver on measurable outcomes. We need projects that are not building castles in the air, but they are projects that are achievable, right? We need projects that are relevant, that will change lives and livelihoods within communities, that will ensure that communities are, of course, better, have the adaptive capacity to deal with all kinds of hazards that are confronting them at the moment. And of course, all of these projects need to be time bound. So you have to be specific as to how long the project period will be. So essentially, that is the end of this segment or this video. It's supposed to be like 10 minutes so that you have a gist of what the organization stands for and what we are into. So I'll come back and produce another video to give you more ideas as to what we have already done and the way forward. Thank you.